Hi guys, I'm AVM and welcome back. This is a Citroën ë-C4, E because of course it's electric. And well, if you're familiar with the Peugeot 2008, the Peugeot 208, the DS3 E-Tense and the Vauxhall Corsa, they all share the same underpinnings. So what have Citroën done with their flavour of this chassis? Because they all have their own sort of take. Peugeot for me were the better looking ones. Vauxhall is Vauxhall. Citroën usually go for the comfort and I won't say luxury end, that's the DS3, but they tend to do stuff that well, rides well. So let's see what this French prototype is like. Right, let's have a look around the outside, then the inside, and of course take it for a drive as usual. Clearly a Citroën front end. We've got this kind of sculpted bonnet, which is quite nice, gives you some nice angles. Citroën badge, of course, built into the entire front end. Front valance, quite busy for me. Not sure if I'm a big fan of that, but overall, in a French sort of style, I quite like the front. Yeah, I quite like that. I'm going to say that. Quite like the DRLs here. LED headlights. I could live with it, but again, it doesn't matter what I think. If you think it's good looking, that's enough. From the side, this has got kind of a sports coupe SUV type look. The way it slopes back here, I quite like that actually. Charging flap is here, 100 kilowatt charging speed, or up to, should I say. Obviously, it's going to have the same specifications and battery size as the Peugeots and Vauxhalls and whatnot that I mentioned. Got these kind of chunky plastic going all along the bottom. Normally, I'm not a fan of that, but I think this quite suits it, if I'm honest. It's quite tall, but that just means good interior space. And overall, it looks like a C4, but not like the C4 you're familiar with. This one is very different and for me a lot better than the previous one. Whew, still chilly. Right, the back starts off with this spoiler here, which clearly needs it for the downforce to keep the back end in check. Black band, which seems very common with French cars, it seems. I don't know if I'm a fan. Maybe in a darker colour it'll look better, but again, if you think it's good looking, that's all that matters. E-badge, of course, for the electric. Other than that, it pretty much looks identical to the other C4s. Big bit of plastic here. I don't know, I'm thinking that's going to fade over time, so you're going to have to keep an eye on that one. And black gloss around there might chip easily, I'm not sure. Might be being harsh here. Overall, it's mad. It's got a lot of mad angles, a lot of metal work going on, and some fake air vents. I'm not a fan of fake stuff, but everyone seems to have them now. I don't mind it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let's have a look at the boot now though, if I can figure it out. There we go. It's quite heavy. Good size boot. I'll bring this closer now actually. Reasonable size boot, but if you lift this up, actually a lot bigger than it looks with it down. You know, if you took that out, you'd have a very big family boot, I think. So I think that is extremely good. It's better. Yeah, I'd say that's better than the 2008. A little bit more practical. It is quite a heavy boot lid, I have to say. Quite a lot of metal going on there. But overall, you know what? I think it's... oh, hello, it's just locked. I think it's different enough to be interesting, but some people will probably not like it. I'm going to say, yeah, I don't mind it, but it's not the best looking car in the world. Now, let's take a look inside, of course. And I've gone to the wrong door because this is a left-hand drive version. Here we go. This is the interior. It's quite a small steering wheel. Feels quite nice though, if I'm honest. Standard switch gear. A little bit of cheap plastics here and there, but you know what? It's not a premium car, but it does cost about £30,000 upwards after the government grant. So it's a little bit more expensive than your average electric vehicle, and a little bit more expensive than the Peugeot. But let's see if there's a reason for that. You got these nice air vents here, which feel very solid actually. Yep, I like that. Materials, kind of soft press. You can just sort of see my finger going there. That's not too bad. That's like a leatherette or leather. Not sure about that bit there. This bit, found a bit cheap plastic there, but it's a non-touch point. That's not too bad. Standard switch gear. Reasonable door bin. Let's see if yeah, that fits fine. So yeah, the touch points are okay, but there are a few points which, that's not too bad. this is solid. I'll come to that in a second. I'll turn the car on. But yeah, overall, I think it's better than previous Citroëns, shall we say. Let me turn the car on there. Now, this doesn't have the 3D display that, for example, the Peugeots have. It has this, well, I guess 2D display. It looks a bit weird, but it is actually very easy to read. Gives you all the information. Even in sunshine, it kind of works, and you've got these kind of lights, like low lights if you like, a bit of mood lighting going on behind. This one comes with a heads-up display. Don't know if that's going to be standard though. This, of course, is a left-hand drive car, and it is, I won't say a prototype, but it's pre-production. So some of the things we can't show you because it's not fully finished yet. If I go on there, it gives you the navigation options, and we'll get there in a second. And this one seems pretty snappy, actually. Wireless charging for your phone. Actual knobs and buttons, which is good. It's not all done from the touchscreen. These feel pretty solid. Buttons, again, they feel pretty, I won't say high spec, but good. This, kind of a bit of storage for whatever you want, and if lifted up, a bit more storage underneath. So I kind of like that. I like that idea. So yeah, lots of storage here. I'm not sure what that's for, I guess in your key. Now this is the gear selector. Move it back, forward for reverse drive and so forth. B mode if you want to increase the regen, and of course for park. Sports mode, eco mode, the usual stuff. Obviously handbrake, which is electronic, and a bit of closed storage there for, let me just grab my bottle. Yep, for that. And if you push this forward, oh wait a minute, so it's got the same problem. Now I can't get that out. Same problem as the previous car I had, the 208, E208. So there are clear similarities here. Another bit of closed storage, that's pretty practical. So overall, I would say it's decent. Black gloss, God, no need to have to mention this again. It's already full of fingerprints, and this is a brand new car. In fact, we're the first people in Europe to drive it, which is quite cool. Now, Harry, show us this thing here. Check out this guy's. Ooh. Now,
what is it?
What is it? Well, close it and then pull this tray out and show you it. All right.
This one first.
This one first. That's going to be a lot smaller in the UK version, of course, because obviously it'll be over here, and that's where the fuse box is. So that will not be as big in the UK. If you pull that out though, it's like a laptop tray, and if you have an iPad, you can watch stuff. So it's like a mobile office.
It is.
Sort of. I'm guessing they've done that because they've seen what Tesla owners do, watching like YouTube and stuff. So this is kind of like a budget version of that. And you know what, I can live with that. I think that's not a bad idea. But overall, yeah, so put it all together now if you can figure it out. That one first.
There we go.
Nice bit of storage though, I do like that idea. Up here we have sunroof. Again, I don't know what will be standard in the UK. Immensely comfortable. Heated seats. I mean, I think these are one of the most comfortable seats I've had in what you call a normal family car for a long time. So yeah, bonus points for that. Now let's jump in the back and see how practical it is for the little kiddies. Banged his head. Alrighty. Now that sits in the position for a very tall person. So let's see. Ow! Bang my head. Right. Okay. I've already noticed that thing. You might catch it, so be careful when you get in. Let me just shut the door. Standard switchgear materials, not too bad, but you know, not high end, but I'm not expecting it to be. As far as room goes, that's pretty good. I've got plenty of space. Remember, this is in a very far back for a very tall person, so overall it's pretty spacious back here actually. The middle bench is surprisingly usable actually. It's quite large, only you do have a little bit of a hump there, so feet either side. Now, I'm not the tallest person in the world, of course, but I'm close. The coupe sort of swoosh that it comes down at the back. I mean, this bit here, I'm hitting my head if I just kind of go up a bit. So a 6-footer will have problems. In fact, someone even nearly 6 foot will have problems in the back in terms of height. I suspect there won't be many adults in the back though. It's probably just going to be mainly kids. That is easier to look out of than it kind of appears. It's quite a short back window, and of course the massive spoiler at the back does make it a little bit poor visibility, but overall, you know, it's not a problem. You've got cameras all around, so good family rear. As a family car, it works from a practicality point of view.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah,
I've no problems there. There are a few things I don't like, like the black gloss, and you know, the design is...
You could live with it.
It's
comfy,
absolutely,
isn't it?
It's very comfortable. This is the one thing I've noticed. This is more comfortable than the Peugeot's DS3 equivalent, and I think it looks better than the DS3. It's cheaper than the DS3, which is a luxury brand if you're unfamiliar. and I think I prefer the Peugeots in looks.
Yeah, the Peugeots have nailed that.
As in the external look. But you know what?
It's not a bad place to be inside, is it?
It's not, no. And I actually feel quite, very comfortable. So that's the first thing. Very comfortable, decent practicality, good boot.
Yeah, the boot's really good. I was very surprised.
There are cars that are far more expensive than this that are not as comfortable.
Drive as well. Yeah, I think that's what Citroën have always been well known for, isn't it?
They have, yeah. Now, the performance is pretty much identical to the 2008/208/DS3 E10/Vauxhall Corsa. It's not quick, is it? But it's quick enough.
It's quick enough, isn't
120 odd brake horsepower, I believe. I think they've gone for an upmarket feel of Citroën.
Yeah.
And for the most part,
It paid off, hasn't it?
it's comfortable, as in way more comfortable than it should be. The only thing that I find strange about the seat is that I've got electric adjustment here. I can go up, down. But if I want to move the seat forwards and backwards, as Harry can probably demonstrate, you have to pull a lever underneath. Everything's electric apart from that, which is a bit strange.
I wonder if it's because they don't have space for the
batteries underneath, probably. Yeah. So what else? If we ignore the PSA group,
does this compare with at that price?
With it, yeah.
Well, you've got is it MG? Does it compare at all with the MG?
Well, the MG is significantly cheaper.
Well, this is it,
and a lot bigger. Not as comfortable. This, I would say, will do. Well, same as the other ones, about 150 miles ish in the real world, all year round average. In terms of its range, you'll get more in summer, you'll get a little bit less in winter, how you drive, etc, etc, etc. But I would say about 150ish. So compared to the PSA group, it's the same. Compared to the MG ZS EV, that's probably, this will do maybe 10-15 miles more. But that's a much bigger car. It's a different kettle of fish, isn't it? But that just highlights the value of that car as opposed to this. I would go for the ZS over this. Just because it's
better value for money.
Well, it's like £5,000 cheaper.
Yeah.
You can't ignore that value. I'm not saying this isn't a better car. It's better fit and finish. It's got a better infotainment system. That's a bigger car.
Yeah.
This has got slightly better range. This is a very comfortable car. I keep on going back to that. This is its unique selling point, I think. DS3, 2008, or this? Which do you go for?
I'd go for the 2008 just because I like the look of it.
It looks nicer.
Yep. I'm quite shallow, I'm afraid.
I don't
like the look of this, but like we say, looks are very. I don't dislike it immensely. I just think it's just not my cup of tea.
I would probably do the same because you also save a bit of money as well. But I think I prefer this to drive than the others. I feel like the comfort matches the quietness that all EVs have, and it makes you feel like you're in a much more luxury vehicle in it.
It's almost got the BMW 7 Series feel to it, hasn't it? Not in terms of the fit and finish, but in terms of the ride.
The ride, definitely, yeah. It's definitely got a ride that's above its class.
Yeah.
Punches above its weight. It's surprisingly good around twisties and corners. It does have the same steering sort of issue that I found with the Peugeots as well, even including the 208, not just the 2008, in the fact that it's a little bit vague. I mean, I'll do it again once I get past this guy. Watch this.
Yeah, it's a bit.
We're barely wiggling, are we?
Yeah.
And when we've tried that in other cars, we're darting all over the road. That's a city thing, isn't it? That's me personally. I prefer a more direct. Yeah. But again, it's not a hot hatch, so
it's not. No.
I think that's doable. You can charge up to 100 kilowatts.
Yeah, which is
that's
more,
good.
Yeah.
If you can find a charger that matches it, of course, which is surprisingly difficult at the moment. Yeah, if you can get this for 27 grand,
I was thinking,
with a bit of haggling and dealer discounts, if they do exist, then it's almost actually quite a good buy.
I think the list price for me just seems a little bit too much. Like you said, if it was £2 less, I'm sure if you shop around,
I think there will be discounts.
Maybe not straight away, but
there is on Peugeot, there is on Vauxhalls.
There always is, isn't there?
Some quite heavy ones too.
Yeah.
I've no red flags.
No.
I think that's the best way of saying it. I've nothing that's grabbing me saying I must buy this, but I've nothing that's saying don't buy it because of this either.
Yeah.
Which I think is
not a bad thing.
It's a good compliment. It really is like driving a cloud, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's uncanny. It really is. I mean, you could have a bottle of water there, and the water won't be.
You could put your pint on it,
yeah. But it definitely punches above its weight in the sound deadening department as well. I think they've, from what I understand, they've concentrated on that quite a bit to make it quieter, like vibration mounts or anti-vibration mounts and stuff like that. So it's worked.
The steering really does suit the vehicle.
It's a vehicle for slow, comfortable driving in, isn't it? I didn't want to, from the outset when I first saw this and or even just read about it, I didn't really want to like it. But it is kind of worming itself.
Yeah, it's a grower.
It is. It's like, well, yeah, it's not the best looking car, it's not the fastest, but it gives me comfort, more comfort than I want, or need rather, and therefore I feel like I'm getting more than I expected.
Yeah.
Certainly if you're doing a lot of town driving, you know, stuck in traffic.
Oh yeah, I think that's where it's at home, really, isn't it?
It'd be really comfortable for that.
I feel
Are we whispering and saying we quite like it?
I don't. It's like I shouldn't like it. Do you know what it's like? It's like your guilty pleasure music. You know?
Yeah.
K-pop. What?
Right. Well, as we're here at the PSA Group headquarters, taking the car back, I'll say goodbye. Thank you for watching. This is better than we thought it would be.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So if you can get a bit of a discount, I think I
would do. Yeah.
I quite like this. Definitely worth a test drive.
Definitely.
So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. As usual, please do subscribe, etc., etc. Yada yada yada. Press the bell. Blah blah blah. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.